Hello and welcome to another set of turns of Dominions 5. I am the False God and we are playing as Baratos. I think we are jumping in on turn 28 and we're hoping to have a big fight with Femoria. We did a lot of attacking of Femoria. And I don't know which one of these I'm hoping is the big one. It's World Pillars, what we're hoping is our big fight. I think. Yes, okay, well, that's where we are. Let's see if we... And we have the enemy. Okay, so let's take a minute to go through what we've got, what they've got. So again, we have our ever-present line of Ichthyids, who are all here, partially as an HP anchor, help prevent people from sneaking around our guys. We've brought a bunch of brides to do Mist Form, because unlike Hinnom, Femoria does not get magic weapons on their troops. So Mist Form is going to help a lot. Now, it's not perfect because the damage is incredibly high, so a good portion of the time Mist Form is still going to get popped. But, you know, we got to do what we got to do. We've got our Colossi on our right flank, and then regular troops are holding the left. So I suppose our theory of victory is that we're going to try and win on our right flank while losing more slowly on our left, and then try and roll them up. But we've brought a lot of mages to this fight. Whereas they have a captain, an adventurer, they've got a druid, 3 kings. And so we're going to do imps in the back. We're going to do our buffs. We're going to cast evocations. We've got this little group of nightmares and some of our scorpion beasts. They've got a little bit of their mercs out front, and then a line of their warriors backed up by archers and Nemedians on their right flank. So I will say again that this is going to essentially be a replay bug because the game version has changed so many times. We can see imps going off, mist form going off. These imps we're hoping to have disrupt their formations, so we can kind of fight them in detail a little bit. We've got some protective winds going off as well. Unfortunately, I don't do a good job of getting these guys to sit tight. So they're going to kind of charge out ahead, which is not what we wanted at all. Because they're going to get overwhelmed by this arrow fire. Just javelin fire. Before they get the chance to do too much, I will pause. In the real game, something similar happened, but they were slightly more north, and they insta-routed the Nemedians. The Nemedians, like, barely made contact, and the whole squad routed. It was absolutely hilarious. Unfortunately, not going to happen in our replay to show you, but it was quite amusing. You can see we've got lightning bolts and some evocations going out. We have not really maintained good cohesion on our lines. Our dragon is also going to try and kill stuff. We just let our own guy on fire there. Bale Hammond is marching up. Bale Hammond, I do feel also more comfortable fighting with him. He does not, while he is our only hero Melkart, we can get more Melkarts. And he has magic paths that we do have access to on any of our brides. We're a little fortunate that he did not try and put all of his troops on attack largest. They might have killed our god. That was a nice little fireball there. A couple of our brides, right, on advance and cast are moving in. Fire darts, ugh. Or I was fireflies, ugh. Use fire blast. Right there, fire blast. You can see though, we've got the corner on them, on our right flank, and we are kind of, the Nemedians have actually kind of blocked the giants, some of the giants, from fighting over here. We are running off some of their units, and we're looking to try and encircle their left. You can see that they are decaying, not that it does anything, because they live to be 1,000. Our god is currently just chilling by himself here. There he goes. He's gonna go get involved. Nope, he did not land in range of anyone. All right, now he's on a king at least. He's gonna pop the Mistform to help us kill the king. This guy, yeah, still still has lots of stuff. So we're kind of, it looks like we're winning, but it is still the case, right, that there's a lot of giants here. We're gonna be hoping to HP route them, I think. This whole core, again though, right, they haven't been able to actually get them all fighting. Like, you know, we saw this with the Hinnom fight too. So many of these giants are not fighting it. Whereas we're getting a lot more of our Colossi are actually sort of making contact. And our mages are doing like shockwave. The king is in there. So we're kind of just, our line is just connecting a lot better. That was a nice poison breath. That was a great little fireball. All right, our spearmen have routed. We're gonna need to get this wrapped up pretty soon here. We're gonna die. We need to get an HP route because this flank is not gonna hold up. The Mistform is doing okay at holding off some of this stuff, but these guys have magic weapons, so as they get into our Mistform line, they're gonna kind of invalidate that. Looks like there goes our Ichthyeids. And ultimately, we routed. But only in this version. So I've seen this this battle 3 times. Because I watched it when it first happened, and I watched it the second time, which when it had a patch change. And now this is the 3rd time. So we actually won the first 2. So this is the only one I've seen where we lost. But we actually won this fight. We lost 1 commander, 1 priest, 22 of the spearmen. We lost all the Nightmare Riders. But we actually kind of crushed them in the version that happened in game. Again, the Nightmare Riders routed all the Nemedians, who in this version took almost no casualties and chewed up our Mistform. They routed them all off instantly. In the second version, they didn't rout them all off, but the Nemedians still... the Nemedians sort of made better contact with our troops, or I guess for them worse contact, and they got killed off by our troops. So again, just I know I talked about it in some earlier videos, right? But some of these fights, like looking at this fight, it looks like we're way ahead. We killed the Druid, 2 kings. We got some of the giants. Because we also had fear coming from the king. The city has fear. The Draken has fear. Again, the Nightmare Riders mostly feared off in the real one, the Nemedians, and not as much the Fomorian giants. But we went ahead and we killed a lot of their little crap. And I don't remember, this group does have somewhere to go. But we did go ahead and kill a lot for relatively minimal losses when it sort of comes down to it. But yeah, like I said earlier, right? It's these fights, they are swingy. There's a lot of randomness in a Dominion's fight between two close armies. So, like I said, I've seen 3 different versions of this battle, and we won twice. So, I don't think it was too unlikely, but if it works, it works. We lost this one, a lot of PD here. We won here, lost this one. This is the fight we just watched and won. Conquered there. Conquered there. This is the province we've been formerly standing in. Machaca takes a province. We take another province. Oh. The swamp gets bogused. Killing off our commander who was going to try and give it back to Machaka. And our lab was destroyed in Baratos. So that's fun. This is also a hilarious one. So in the chat, Femoria was kind of ranting a bit and is like, I'm in your cap circle, yada yada yada. And I'm like, I'm in your cap circle. And he did not appreciate it. Did not appreciate it one bit. Felt that these were very dissimilar, which they are, but it was still hilarious. So we're gonna move back to mostly defending Baratos. Just a small, or no, yeah. Who's moving? Who's moving here? Just this guy. I expect them to leave, so we're just gonna try and kill a little bit of PD here. I'm gonna go defend Baratos in case they try and move on to it and leave this way, as opposed to leaving over Bergamum. We're also gonna potentially look to, we might drop off some of these mages, depending on if we think we need them. Pick up some extra troops. We're gonna recruit this turn, except that we're not, because I guess I didn't have any money for that, and we don't have a lab. That's because we have to remake, I had to rebuild the lab. We're gonna preach on Baratos instead. We are gonna try and send out another group of Nightmare Riders, because they're kind of important. And we've got some Shed are online, a handful. We're gonna move out some more troops up this way as well. But the Shed can't go with this guy because we do need, obviously, that demonic leadership, that undead leadership. Otherwise, we're going to keep trying to raid. This bird group is not a bird group, it's just one guy, so he's going to move back to the capital. Ditto here. Should have taken this bird with me. But they're going to be good. You know, having flying leaders is always just great. Like, we can use them with griffins later. They can move blood slaves over long distances. No reason to get them killed off if we don't have to. This group is currently retreating. I feel like I go back and change it to this, but it might still be a retreat. So this is a nice turning point for us, though. We've got our capital circle back, except this one province. Just a scary province, but not as scary as it was before. And we're going to try and see if we can't beat this army too. So it is a bit of a shame that I suppose we lost in this version. Can't show you the win, but it was great. And yeah. Meanwhile, we just patrolled somebody out there. We got Bogus. You can see we've moved out our elephant stack, trying to take out Hinam and see if we can't make something happen there. You can see Femoria has been attacked. Now we're a decent shot, you know, we're this little piece, but they lost so much more. They lost it to Vanheim, they lost it to us, they lost a little bit to Machaka. This is a very sad turn for Femoria. But they're by no means dead. Vanheim actually, yeah, you can see moving in front. They're by no means dead, still very dangerous. But hopefully with the pressure off of us, we're almost back. You know, it's where we were like mid-war. We're still down, what is like 5 provinces from our peak. We're gonna see if we can't recover this. So, yeah, go ahead and we'll jump to 29. I don't think there's too much else to cover here. All right, we are going to get some Storm Drakes. They're kind of interesting. Unfortunately, they're undisciplined. I don't know if they're worth it. If you're like a Pythium with that tight rain ability, I think they'd be awesome. But as it stands, I don't think I ended up loving my Storm Drake purchase. After Femoria made a lot of complaints about the Greathawks and saying that they were bad and that we were wasting our gems in the game chat. And then it is amusing to now see him on the Great Hawk plan. So, bit amusing. His Great Hawks do end up getting killed, though, by Machaka. Femoria takes out some of our birds who got left behind. Some of our birds conquer a pretty deep... It's a deep raid into Femoria's cap circle. They take one from Machaka. They do try and move out through Bergamum. You can see they're down to 14 giants and 25 Nemedians. They also moved up a group to attack Golem range, so they split that army a little bit. We got some bad stuff there. Conquered. We go ahead and put Kopos under siege. Again, Machaka is blood hunting. Actually, let's look at that. Look at Machaka. Look at him go. Look at him blood hunt. Lanka doing a little bit too. We have not started yet. It felt difficult to find a safe place to do so, and to find the mages to do so. I've been recruiting these Onyx Sorceresses. I did get a 2. I think that I should have probably switched off of the Onyx Sorceress at this point. So they're 145 gold for 11 research. You know, we can do much better for research purposes. And we've already got the Death 2, which was the main, which is like a good thing to have, although even that's kind of unnecessary because we have Dismater. So I think I overbuy these. We're going to eventually see. But yeah, Femoria is under siege by Vanheim, who just sailed across. Under siege. We took a cap circle province from them. They split this army into a couple of different pieces, which is fine. Like, this group can, in theory, try and cut their way out this way, or keep raiding around. I don't know that they can all sail. They can. They can sail probably back is what they'll do. So taking some, dealing us some damage on the way out, but they're definitely in retreat. With that said, we're going to go move down here, go and relieve Bergamum. Gonna retreat with what we have here, back out. We're going to do some more castings of Call of the Wind, and keep moving up some extra troops and try and kick Femoria out. They lost more provinces this turn, although not nearly as many. Vanheim jumping up. Hinam's down as well. We've kind of got them on the back foot a bit. It's nice. It feels good. Get them pushed out of our lands. Now the question is, it's still not necessarily done. They could maybe manage to go back, beat Vanheim, and still come back for us. We took a lot of damage here. I think there's a question of how, can we salvage our position? And the real graph to look at there is going to be the research graph. Sarmatia is doubling everyone. But we're still doing okay. We're actually in 5th, which is not too bad. Machaka is doing worse. They are just about in the bottom of the sort of the pack here, ahead of Colossi, who is dead, and Hinam, who is not researching very much. But we're going to try and push them back, and we're going to try and take all of this stuff. Maybe we can get into the water. We're going to want to take this back, take that back. Maybe we can get some of it. Like, there's potentially a lot of room here for us if we can capitalize. And so, of course, when you're thinking about this, right, it's not just we have to beat Femoria, but we want to take a lot of this stuff. If if we survive versus Femoria, but give Vanheim a colossal position, that's not, you know, it's better for us than dying, but it's not necessarily a winning position. So we're going to want to aggressively, you know, use these birds to try and seal off territory and prevent Vanheim from getting excess gains, and make sure that we sort of maintain those for ourselves. So yeah, we're trying to make the comeback here. We were definitely way behind, and we definitely would have had a much harder time of it, but not open Diplo, but Diplo with open score graphs kind of saves us. And the next question, right, is you know, I talked about us trying to get this so Vanheim doesn't necessarily steal all of it. Does Vanheim even want it? Open graphs is we didn't sign up with this on intentionally, but it's kind of interesting. It's going to add a real crabs in a bucket mentality that anybody who starts to get ahead is going to get dragged back down because everybody can tell. And so you want to try and get ahead, but in a way that, you know, doesn't show up on the graphs potentially, or you need to wait and try and instigate conflict between the other powers so that you can start your own. Like, you theoretically, you don't even need to say, okay, we're coalitioning someone. But if, you know, if Vanheim, if we finish this war and Vanheim's like, okay, we're going to go fight Sorrow, and you can go fight Niflheim, that's fine. Everybody's engaged, and we don't have to worry about getting stabbed. If we just went to fight Niflheim and we're winning, then suddenly all of our neighbors see the province graph go up, and they're like, yeah, I don't like seeing Baratos on top. Try and cut them down a peg. So it is interesting to mention. I don't think that I would choose to play with graphs on. Again, I think it does promote a big crabs in a bucket mentality, and I think leads to inaction in general. But for the moment, I'm happy enough to take it. And we'll see if we can't get Femoria pushed out and try and secure some of these gains. Also, I realize it looks silly, like I'm pointing at this like it's potentially, you know, my gain, but nobody else is going in the water besides Femoria so far, so we can try and get it. I have been told that I can be exceptionally greedy when it comes to these provinces. So, anyways, thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. So have a great day.